Okay, so I'd like to thank Coach Yash, Coach T for asking me to come in. I started coaching way back in the early 90s with Coach Gary Hansen. He's a Hall of Fame coach. Mark Leonard then took over at Cashton. And throughout the years at Prairie du Chien, had a lot of great assistants that I worked with, and head coaches, Dwayne Bark, Guy Cobb, John Boyle, Coach Thierry. Right now, Coach Koenig has taken over, and just fantastic assistants that I've had a chance to work with. Coach Rabbit made the trip with us. I got to see Terry Slag, the superintendent at Wisconsin Dells. Just a ton of great people. Drought help as far as what we've done. Bryant Brenner, I don't know if any of you guys know Bryant. He's head coach up at Eau Claire Regis. Had a lot of success. He first cut his teeth then head coaching at Cassville, and then all of a sudden he's up at Regis winning all sorts of state championships and in-state championship games and stuff like that. And I said, how'd you get so much better, Bryant? He smiles, he goes, Pat Cerrone, if you ever get a chance to sit down with the college staff, do it. We got a chance to spend the day and got Cerrone. That was pretty interesting. He's a very colorful character. If you've ever been Cerrone, it's definitely worth it. He has an ability to use the F word in every possible manner you can ever consider. Dan Bowder is the head coach, D coordinator down at UW Platteville. We went with the lacrosse staff, all those sorts of things. Thank you very much for jumping in there. Next thing. Okay, so we got to where we are today. Coach Hansen, when I was first there, we ran a 52 slant. When I was with Coach Bark at Prairie du Chien, we ran the 52 slant. We switched in 98 to 4-3 scram and splatter, sexier, man-to-man, all that sort of stuff. We ran a variation of that basically for years. Finally prompted changes. I look at Coach Yash and their situation this year at Onalaska. We won a conference championship in 2015, felt pretty good about ourselves, doing pretty well, came into that first playoff game, and man, when you got big aspirations and you want something and you get in that first playoff game and you stumble and stub your toe, that's not a lot of fun. Okay, looked at what it was, man, it was big plays. We're playing man-to-man. I put a situation, actually, one of the kids that Coach had on his picture there, he's back in the 80s, the old neck roll kind of guy. He's a neck roll linebacker, and in our setup for that week, I put him in a situation where he was going to be man-to-man on the tight end. The tight end ran better than he did. Okay, now if you want to run at him, he's going to knock your socks off, but you want to run past him, you're probably going to, and that's what happened. And that was on me. 2016, we had some stuff, Coach kind of talked about it, got things cleaned up, and went from there. After 2016, I was just tired of working too hard and not efficiently and not effectively enough. We'll talk about this a little bit later. Knowing Bryant, I watched him a couple years before when they played St. Mary Springs in the state championship game. That year, 2016, he had reached out to me. We played Darlington. Darlington played Regis at the state championship game. We played him fairly tough. Traded tape, talked, and said, hey, can we come up and talk to him? Said, yep. We met with him for a couple of years, and we ran that version of the 3-4 since 2017. Thank you. What we took from this, back to playing the 5-2 slant. No, we don't call it the 5-2 slant because nobody in college or the NFL plays a 52 slant. So, actively avoiding player side chance. We call it 3-4 because that's what they hear. Less time worrying about strategy, more time worrying about what our assignments are, what we need to improve upon. Omar Bradley, any history guys in here? Anybody? Omar Bradley. Talked about amateurs talk strategy, professional talk logistics. Omar Bradley is the guy nobody really knows about or pays attention to in terms of World War II. Everybody knows Patton. Patton, he's kind of a swashbuckling dude. Omar Bradley was more concerned about the fact that, hey, we're going to go fight a war in the Pacific. We're going to go fight a war in the European theater. You know what? You need to win wars. You need food. You need supplies. You need, all those sorts of things. Because if you don't have those sorts of things, your troops really aren't going to do real well. Okay? So if you're not thinking about kind of the logistics and the things that really matter, going back to what Coach talked about, we're in a people business. Thank God we're not in Texas. I would hate if my paycheck was predicated on whether or not I could get a 16 or 17-year-old kid to do what they needed when the pressure was on. Okay, that'd be terrible. I like the fact that we're where we're at, where we've got a chance to still, build kids and lose and get better as a result of that. But if you look at the logistics, we're in a human business. We've got to work on humans. Okay? And everybody does it. If you're I get it. You're so worried about this scheme and how you're going to do that, what you're going to do, this sort of thing, that sort of thing. It doesn't matter if your humans aren't where they need to be. Mentally, emotionally, so on and so forth. So look at those logistics and what can they dedicate to? If you got 27 things that our coach say, I don't want my guys thinking about 2. I agree with them. Okay, that's 100% accurate. Give them one thing, get them really good at it. You can take a marginal athlete, get a marginal athlete to be really, really, really good at 1 or 2 things, and man, they will run through a wall for you. They'll do whatever you ask them to. Okay? We consider what to teach in practice. If it doesn't relate to one of these 4 things, we don't do it. Okay? If you look at, and I do this each year, I look at big plays that we gave up. Turnovers are important, all those sorts of things. The number one thing I look at is what big plays we give up. We define big plays at 20 yards or more. That's my number one stat. We have never won a game over the last 5 years where we've given up more big plays than we've gotten. Okay? They're momentum swingers, they're palms up opportunities, they're heads dropping opportunities, they're all those sorts of things that you got to get your kids emotionally involved and back to it and go with it. Alignment, assignment, pursuit, and tackle. Those 4 things, if you look at all the big plays that you gave up over this last year, I would guarantee you, okay, I don't guarantee much, that probably something in one of those areas didn't happen right. Okay, somebody wasn't aligned right, somebody didn't know their assignment, somebody didn't pursue, somebody didn't tackle. Okay? And this one, the interesting thing, we talk about this all the time, those 3 take no talent. You don't have to be talented to be good at the first 3. Okay? And the last one, if we're doing things the right way, you don't even have to be that good at that because you got 10 other dudes coming with you. Okay? So you don't have to make it. It turns out they give the ball to really, really good athletes. They gave it to the kid that ran the 5.5 4, just because mom makes nice cookies or whatever. It made it a lot easier to be a defensive coordinator and coach, but they give it to really good guys. You're going to miss tackles. That's okay. Miss the right way. That's the logistics thing. You find me a kid that never missed a tackle in a season that probably never got off the sideline. Okay? You're going to miss tackles. Miss it the right way. Well, what's the right way? Well, how are we doing things? Where are we at? Where's your help? Where's your support? Where's the sideline? All those sorts of things. Thank you. Okay, general thoughts of practice. A lot of times we're kind of almost 2 separate units. Front 5, run focus is primary and most important part. Pass coverage is second and easy. Once Coach Rabbit's got his inside linebackers figuring out what the run fits are, where they're supposed to be aligned and what they're supposed to read, maybe about week 3 or 4, we start getting them to turn their head to find a slant. And then that's about all they do. Okay? That and there's a guy that's running across your face, hit him, reroute him. Okay? Oh, no, am I missing anything?
That's about it.
There you go. Put that on a piece of paper. All right, back 6, run expectations are easy. Yeah, their goal is to stop big plays and practice accordingly. We're often separate. I've been very, very fortunate the last few years to have really good guys as my inside backer and D-line coaches. They're doing their thing. And on back end, we're doing our thing, and we come together. Today, we're going to focus on the back 6. Run assignments, pass assignments, play action assignments. Thank you. You hit that. Okay, quarterbacks. Quarterbacks, in my opinion, are probably some of the areas that are least coached. Okay, why? Because they're good athletes typically. We don't do any man-to-man anymore, and I look back at what I used to do. I just cover the guy. There's going to be a dude that's better than him. Okay, even if you got a dude, there's going to be another dude. So we talk about alignment assignment and pursuit and tackle with these guys. Smart split. Okay, we played Clinton a couple of years back in level 2, and we noticed we called it the bus garage split because they had a bus garage in the backside of their field. They'd be on the right hash and this way, and they'd have a kid, practically in the bus garage. Now, what do you think they're doing with that guy? Yeah, he's just out there. Okay, so where are you going to align as a result of that? If you're not talking about that, you know, you guys are man guys, you're over here bus driving, man, I'm bugging up on you, and here we go. Well, why? You know, so talk about that. Half turn run. This is something that everything I got here is stolen. Nick Saban, I'll talk about where I got some of this stuff. He said when he was at Michigan State, I don't have athletes that are necessarily good enough to backpedal. So I thought at that point in time, well, yeah, I haven't had anybody go to Michigan State or Alabama or anything else, so I probably don't either. Okay, so what we do is a half turn run, right? And we'll talk about that and what that is and what that looks like. Okay, we don't backpedal at all. None. Communicate. You know, what are you going to communicate? So if you think about what it is that like Coach said, you know, what are you telling them to tell? The other, you know, what are you telling them to say? You know, guy runs across motion. Yeah. Okay. What's that mean? Right. So what do you want them to communicate? If you and I are playing safety together, I'm going to say, hey, I got deep third. You're saying, hey, I got flat. Because there would be really a lot of trouble if I thought I had flat and he thought he had flat, and then guess what? Nobody's got deep third. So we're communicating before each play, and what you're doing is you're communicating what your assignment is. And if you communicate your assignment before the ball snap, what is that going to do and instill in you? Confidence. Hey, I got this, because you know that guy comes back, yeah, okay, I know he's where he's at, I know where I'm at, we're good to go. I'm ready to play ball. I know what I got to do. Another assignment, triple R. Rip, restack, reduce. We'll talk about this. And if you get held up, save and drill, and then pursue and tackle. How many guys have you coached? Let's say the ball gets completed to coach over there, and I'm playing, left corner. We'll see him catch the ball. I'm out past the numbers, and he got the numbers, and then they'll just watch it. Okay. Well, talk to him on that. Communicate that. Understand what that is. Define pursuit. What does it look like, and all those sorts of things. And tackling. What do you expect from your corners when they tackle? Okay. Well, you're going to see one play here. Kid does his job, and he just gets blown up. It's actually against the minus. Okay. If you do your job, I don't care what it is. If you're tackling out of the corner and you're corner and you're tackling, are those guys tackle guys a lot of times? No, brother. Get them on the ground. I don't care if you tie their shoelaces together. I don't care if you unscrew their spikes. Just get them on the ground at that point. Okay, and that's kind of what we're looking at. Go ahead. Okay, I'm going to just borrow this for a second. So, looking at this sideline view, hey, this gentleman right here, 21, we're going to just look at what we're talking about with a half turn run. Okay, so this is what we do. So coach, if you want to stand up, let's say you're going this way, ball's on that side, you're a receiver. All right, we're going to get a smart split. We're going to get ourselves where we're going to need to be, and we're going to play somewhere between 5 and 7 yards off. Okay, if you look, he's on the near hash. This guy's just outside the numbers. He's probably going to play him about even up. We're going to play a half turn run. Actually, I'm going to pretend the ball's on that side now. So let's say I'm going to play a half turn, so I'm going to be here. What does this afford me the opportunity to do? It affords me the opportunity to move, see what's going on. We play a zone, okay? I can come up here, and if I do play man, if you watch Alabama now, what they're going to do, they'll come up and they'll play man, but as soon as he comes off the ball, they're going to turn and shade one way or another. They're going to half turn run, because you're faster that way, okay? And if you want a way to turn your kids out of this, and for them to take your slowest corner, have him go on a half turn run, take your best athlete that you got in corner, put him in a back pedal, have him race. You'll sell your kid. You're like, oh man, Jimmy's way faster than Johnny, but he just got roasted. Okay, so this is what we're going to do here. Now, as this guy comes up, I'm in this half turn run, so I'm just going to kind of mirror what you're going to see from Dylan. Once I know it's a run situation, and he's coming at me, how many of you guys have wide receivers who just kill blockers? Raise your hand. Anybody got just dudes that give? You got one? Yeah. These guys don't want to block. That's not what they're there for. Okay, that's not what they're there for. What we teach them to do is attack. Okay, so we're going to attack this guy. Once I see it's run, and since I'm playing off and I can recover, I'm going to attack. And what we're going to do is we're going to go same foot, same shoulder. We're going to rip, and then we restack. And and then we go from there. So if we look at what Dylan does, he does a really nice job here. Okay, guy's coming at him, he sees it, he half turn to run, and he does a pretty good job here. He sees it's a run, he stacks, and then he gets up. You know, it's not a killer tackle or anything like that, but he does that. How often do we practice that? Every day. Okay, that's something that we're doing all the time, all the time, all the time. Here's river stack, replace, triple R. Okay, you want to flip to the next one? Go ahead and flip again. Okay, and one more. All right, so just so happens, go ahead and pause it again. I'm going to teach you something. This is going to be revolutionized. And none of you guys know this. The arrow keys, actually, you can use them to rewind, fast forward, and when you push the down key, it'll pause it or play it. If you didn't know that, that made my life so much easier. Okay, so if you press and just hold the down arrow key for me there, sir. Okay, so he's going to just press the down arrow key, and that's going to slow-mo it. All right, so he's going to be here, rip, all right, and he doesn't do it's not is that forward tackling? No, but he's got dudes coming, and he gets them on the ground. That's all we're looking for. Attack, rip, replace, roll. Now, you can't do that if you're a man, okay, you just can't. So we play a lot of zone, that's where you want to hit that arrow and advance us there. Perfect, go ahead, head again. Okay. Safety, we're just looking at run, and then we'll get into the other stuff. Basic trips, okay, so once again, Coach Iverson talked about it. We want to only communicate things that matter, words that matter. We don't have a lot of time about that. Teams or tempo, whatever. We want to say something that matters, not a lot of other verbiage is required. We say base, okay, what does base mean? We're going to line our safeties up outside on tackles, 10 yards off, reading the guards. Run assignment, they're going to run the trapezoid. Fill alley, inside out, they're going to trail the ball's hip. A lot of you guys probably do a lot of this stuff. If anything doesn't make sense, please let me know. Okay? If we say trips, trips means something. It doesn't just mean that there's three guys there. We never say trips in any of our other coverages other than our cover 3 or Viking. If we say trips, that means something. Okay? If it's something else, Ranger or this or that or whatever it is, trips, it means you get a one high read. You're going to read the triangle, you're going to have fill alleys. So the difference is, in base, like we said, you're going to have 2 highs, okay? In trips, you're going to roll one of the safeties and just go 1 high. Low man, run assignment, and we'll see all this sort of stuff. Anybody else cover 3 team? Anybody do cover 3? Okay. What is the number one thing that you want to prevent from getting beat on in a cover 3? Where is it?
4 verts.
4 verts, man. Yeah, you play cover 3, you better be ready for 4 verts. People are going to come at you with that. So instantaneously, that's where we start teaching, where we're going to beat the most and easily. So you'll see what happens when we've got a trips call. We'll rotate the 1 high. He's going to read the triangle, so on and so forth. The low man is going to get an inside shade on number 2, and sometimes he'll step up, sometimes he'll bail back, sometimes we change it up so it looks like one of our coverages or different one of our coverages, whatever, play games. Have 2 crosses your face, so you have ball sides this side, he's here, he's in number 2, I'm going to be inside shade. We're working on him all the time. You're going to step to the ball side, you're going to post, okay, he goes vert, I'm going to read 1 to 2, they both go vertical, I'm going to keep running with him, that's my job, reading 1 to 2, reading 1 to 2, reading 1 to 2. That's what we're talking about. If my safety coach is talking to those guys, he's going to have them over there and doing that. Now, this guy, usually the slide guy's a little quick, so I step here and he beats me to the inside. Okay, that's fine. He's already declared that he's not going vertical at this point in time, so I'm right. I'm going to ride him down for 2 steps, see what's going on in here, and then I can get out to the flat. Okay, so I become a flat defender in that situation. If you want to advance it, what's your name, by the way?
Eric.
Eric? Thanks, Eric. All right, outside linebackers. Base or trips. Base alignment, outside shade number 2. Trips alignment, outside shade number 2. Run assignment. Don't let number 2 outside you if you're on 2. Don't number 3 outside you if you're on 3. Regardless of alignment, on a down block, you're going to hammer. On a base block, same technique that we teach the corners with a Saban. If it's reach, you're going to run with them. And then what we have is we have different jobs because we slant. We're going to either play tuck or chase, okay? Tuck means if the ball goes away, I'm going to circle back over the top, okay, and I'm going to help with any cutbacks. If I'm the chase, I'm going to come off the backside and I go, all right? I coach the outside linebackers, and they're kind of the unit that hooks the front to the back. We work on these things, you know, non-stop, these 4 things. You come to our games, you know, Tom's been there, I'm over with the outside linebackers, first thing you're going to see them taking their steps, getting hands on guys, knocking them down, those sorts of things. We're going to do reach before the game. We're going to do base before the game. We're going to do all those sorts of things. This is probably the most difficult block. Okay, they had a big old Sasquatch at tight end this last year. He was pretty tough. Okay, so if you don't get your hands on that guy, you're going to have some issues. This is something that we pulled from it. Okay, so let's say this is the tight end, ball side here. You're going to, do your thing. You're going to hold the edge. If he cuts back inside you, okay, this is the same thing we'll do with the corners. We'll now roll back and get into the play. Okay, but you're going to hold the edge first. If he's reaching me, I'm going to just run as hard as I can until I get hip to hip, get him off, and there I'm at. If he down blocks, okay, this is where we're going to hammer technique. Or coach talking about run arming guys. So I'm going to come here. He's going to be here. Now maybe coach is coming at me as a guard, as a fullback, what have you. I'm going to hit him with the outside shoulder, get an inside fit, and bounce this guy up and over, okay? So hammer technique on down blocks. Doing it all the time, okay? If you want to talk about drills or anything like that, we got hammer drill, we got reach drill, we're just going boom, 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 blah, 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 go. Yeah, you want to hit the next slide. Okay, I'll take over on this just for a second here. Okay, so coach was talking about, and this is just good. I just want you guys to watch, and we'll kind of do this, like that roll of guys, if you ever watch the corners, this middle row of guys, if you want to watch the safeties, and this row of guys, you watch the outside backers, okay? And we'll do this with the kids, and we'll, push play, and we'll see what's going on there. And this is before the snap, and obviously they're kind of going and doing their thing. And we haven't snapped the ball yet, now the ball snapped. What did you see? That's good. What did you see that's bad? Maybe I missed something. And I want this to be interactive. Corners, did you guys see anything? Guys, what you need to see it again. I can do it again. You didn't know if somebody's going to ask you a question. Okay. So before the snap, as far as things that we talk about, things that we want to reiterate, things that we want to see and do, anybody, what would you see? Communication.
Safeties are slopping as the tailback flops over.
Yep. They're communicating what's going on. Hey, you're doing this, you're doing that. You don't know what they're saying. Hopefully they're saying something intelligent, but they're talking. You saw this guy talking to this guy. You saw this guy talking to this guy. You saw this guy talking to this guy. That's that pyramid. Now we're in a base call on this, okay? We're in a base call. Coach is talking about, setting up. I don't know what we're going to play a lot of times when we come out, all right? I'll maybe holler something, hey, give me a trips, or hey, give me trips right or left, or hey, go base on this, depending on where they're at, or we'll have a set idea. If they're in this formation, this is where we want to be. But this is in general, we came out, this is against Platteville, and we're playing a base. Look, we got our two safeties up, and we've got our outside linebackers on number 2, okay? And now in our base look, we said we cannot let our outside linebackers let 2 where? Can't go outside. You can push them down and in, that's fine, but you can't let them outside. Cannot do it, okay? So now if we take a look and see if they do what they're supposed to do here. Okay? You just got to look at the outside linebackers, see if they do what they're supposed to do. All right? Thoughts on that? What'd you see? Okay, he's keeping an outside shade. This guy, not so great, not terrible. Now, the trapezoid. What's the trapezoid? Anybody run the trapezoid as far as, yep. Okay, so we got the trapezoid. These guys don't need to get into their soup unless they know. So ball, play action, went this way, he's gonna run straight across, he's gonna come down, he's gonna be an alley fit. All right? He's gonna be an alley fit in there. Now, if we do what we're supposed to do, he keeps an outside shade on this guy should end up fitting in there pretty nicely. And that's ultimately what happens as we go with it, okay? So that's as simple as it gets, right? Now, you might get a little bit, we're doing some stunting and funky stuff here with our D lineman and whatever. This is actually a DM, but don't worry about that. That's just smoke and mirrors. How much do you notice the safety is moving once the ball snapped? Not too much. We don't want them. Once they know, go. You can see it from this angle here, a little bit better. Outside backer keeps outside shade. Safety comes over, and we spill it and go. Okay, now, this is playing same team. Same call. What do you notice about how many safeties we have? Yeah, we went one high. Why? I don't know. We decided we'd go one high in that situation, right? Does it make a difference? Nah. We would change it up. You know, maybe I yelled something, maybe they just decided, maybe it was down a distance, I don't know, 1st and 10, whatever it is. We just decided, hey, we're gonna rotate trips to the field side, so we're gonna go trips left. So that means the right safety would rotate high. This means the safety on this side is gonna have an inside shade. He's gonna post, so he should step with his right foot, post this guy, read 1 to 2. That gets this guy looking at 3. Who's gonna become 3? I don't know. If he comes across here, then he's going to slow play the quarterback as he pulls potentially. You know, if he comes out and runs a wheel, he'll go out and smack 3. I don't know what's going to happen any more than they do. But they're going to go play their spots. Okay? So this would be what we would coach him up on. He's coming across. That means quarterback's going to probably be 3. Don't let him come outside. Right? This guy's going to run and read guards on the alley. Okay, this is an outside backer here. He's going to push him down because that's an outside backer. He's got to push 2 down. Okay, he doesn't do a great job, but he works himself back out. If you look, we're going to rip, restack, replace right here. And it's not a bad play in general. Okay, so you know, we've got different examples of this. Here's Arcadia. Just from an alignment standpoint, if you look at it, did we line up in base or did we align in trips? Base, okay? Okay, base is any 2x2 formation potentially. It could be a 3x1 formation if we don't feel like that guy is a real legit situation to get outside. So base, there we go. We're going to go ahead. See it? Okay. Man, outside linebacker got roasted. He beats him outside. He's got to run with him. Okay, you can't let that guy beat you outside. Right? Now in terms of what we got here, here's our 1 high, here's our flat, so on and so forth. Okay, you can see him. Start to trade him off, he would pick him up if he went wheel. We're not guarding grass over here, okay? He's reading 1 to 2. 2 wheel comes out, he'd sit on 2. There's nobody coming, he's running with him. He's playing low shoulder because he knows he's got 1 high, right? You could say it was maybe a little bit of a play action fake. Number 15 here, he's reading pass this way. We're getting real specific with them. Okay, if I'm reading pass this way and all of a sudden I see that I'm going to run this way and I see it's pass, we want him to turn this way because we know that guy's coming over the top. That way you get where you need to be in terms of depth. Right? And he's picking him up and running. Okay, so gives you a little bit of an idea. Here's You get these teams that play at the college stadiums, you can't get better tape than this. Here's a situation, you're 2 by 2, so we're starting out in base, okay? Tom's probably taking all the notes now. So, well, they don't just start in a spot and not move. So what if they start in a base situation, so we're in a base situation, and they move, okay? And we feel pretty good about this because our stuff looks similar, and we change responsibilities, but we know what we're doing, and they don't. So he starts taking off. What do you see happening here? So he takes off in motion. What do you see happening? Safety's coming down. Okay, safety's coming down. Why? Because what they're doing is they're creating trips. So the only thing that we should be yelling is trips. Don't yell motion. Don't yell trips. You better yell the direction. Trips right! So you got trips right. Okay, that means that he's going to move down. All right? Here's the thing that you have to look at with this. The thing that becomes difficult is, if you remember the outside linebacker's job, he can't let 2 or 3 outside him, right? As this son of a gun starts coming over, it's real difficult to figure out which one's 2 or which one's 3. You know, he gets past that guy, it's pretty obvious, he becomes 3. If he's in the backfield when the ball's getting snapped, I don't know if he's 2 or 3. Here's what I tell him. Make him confident. What would you tell him? I'm asking you, because maybe you got some better idea. What would you tell him? So his job is don't let 2 or 3 outside. What are you going to tell him?
We would probably mirror read the wing, because if they're trying to run jet sweep, I assume that wing is going to try to reach us.
Yep,
So
yep, that makes good sense. Run jet sweep, this guy's going to probably come here, you know, but maybe runs cornerback. We tell him to hit the shit out of somebody. Be definitive, okay? Here's the deal. If you go in, you know, the Vikings stormed into Europe, okay? You think they were real adept battlers and, you know, they had swords? No, they had freaking battle axes. So you got a bunch of crazy Norwegians coming off a boat with battle axes, swinging as hard as they possibly can. You might get home, you might not, but the chances are you could take somebody's arm or head off, okay? Just come hard. That's all we're asking. Because if you do that and you're definitive, then everybody else can play off of you. That's one of the things that I found with our outside linebackers. Don't hamstring them, don't get them thinking, I don't know who 2 is at that point in time, hit the hell out of somebody. Keep them inside you, okay? Don't screw with their heads, okay? To that end, we'll watch this. Okay, you know, doesn't do too bad a job. He attacks, gets outside number 2. You can see the safety rotating down. Okay, he's going to be able to start alley running. And like I said, our corners don't have to be great tacklers, just get them on the ground. He rip restacks, gets that guy where he's supposed to be, and then, oh, there he is. Okay, we're in good shape. Okay? Another one. Does a nice job. Stays on number 2. Now he's got to come back in. This is a pretty good example of our tuck technique. Okay, we're slanting this way. So this guy becomes the tuck linebacker. He's going to come up over the top. Sees that it's away. He's going to start working over the top. And he could get into the run. Okay, here's a really good example of what I just talked about. Okay, you watch your outside linebacker. All right, so they're getting tricky here. They go end over. This guy is what we call a Ted. He's dead. He can't do anything. All right, but he's still a number 2. Stay with it. All right. Watch what he does, all right? Boom. Just, I don't know. I'm not going to let 2 get outside me. Okay? What does he allow? We're in a base set. He allows the alley runner to run the alley. Okay, boom, come up. We can make plays. All right? I'm going to go to this one. This is one of my favorites because this is my kid actually here. He said this hurt. Okay, what's his job? He's supposed to set the edge. He's supposed to set the edge. He weighs 140 pounds. He's going to set the edge. As that, okay, he goes flying. Boom. It's launched. Right? Looks even more spectacular from this angle. We watch this at home. Okay, comes up, sets the edge. Boom, he goes flying off. Did he do his job? Yeah. He did it about as well as a 140 pounds, slow kid can. Set the edge. Because if that kid wants to bounce now, we've got our safety that can keep playing over the top. We've got our outside linebacker getting on hands on two, running with him, keeping the edge, getting leverage there. Okay? And that lets everybody get where they got to be. Okay? What does it look like when you don't do it right? Because I don't want to make you think that nobody scored on us this last year. Turned out they did. Okay? Watch this guy. He's a really, really, really good athlete. Really good athlete. Okay? But sometimes he go cowboy on us. Watch what he does. What'd he do? Get inside. Why? I got this guy. Well, it turns out that guy's pretty fast. Okay? And now, we didn't do an assignment, we missed a tackle, and there's a touchdown. Kind of going back to and touching on what we talked about. Difference between the last play and this play is you got one guy that, hey, I'm just going to go do my thing. This guy, and not to speak ill of him, we watch this in tape, and this goes back to your culture and all those sorts of things. Look at what you do. Let's get it done. And this is the pursuit thing. So here's your corner. I talked about this. They're going to throw the ball over here. Okay, you're going to throw the ball over here. A little bubble. Boom. Okay, this corner he's outside the hash. Now, how many of us have had guys that'll give up that play? They'll just get over there, whatever. Okay, keeps coming. Boom, makes a tackle. That could have been 6. That would have been the difference in the game that we played against them between a win and a loss, because he just did what his job was supposed to be. Okay, so that's good stuff. That's stuff to think about. If you're going to take anything from this outside of what Coach Thierry was talking about before, this is good stuff. I would Google Nick Saban split safety coverage, Google Nick Saban defending the pass, because that's the stuff I'm going to talk about next. Okay. Really good stuff. He talks about half-turn run there. He talks about a lot of things that we do. We want our kids to understand the field. How many of your kids would know how wide the field is? How many of us know how many? If you're talking about that, it's 53 1/3 yards. I don't know why. Same reason baseball hasn't, 90 feet. Seems like 100 would be more efficient, but they went 90. I don't know. Okay, terminology. What's your flat? What's your deep third? What's your, whatever it is. What's trips means? What's base means? What beats your coverage? If your kids know going in, man, we're going to get beat here. That's doable. But if we get beat here, that's bad. That's catastrophic. Can't have it. Okay? How do we align ourselves to help ourselves and others with their assignments? Being smart, being selfless, knowing where you're going to put yourself, so that you can go, man, I'm an outside linebacker. I really like playing out in space more. As tight ends there, I really want to line up on you. Well, you're going to line up on them. Okay? How our assignments help others with their assignments. And then just looking at that. Oops. Yeah.
One thing with the terminology in the field, I coach young kids. Walk to it with them. Because we've been doing this for a while. Flat, hash, you say all this stuff to the kids, boundary, field, whatever. There'll be 10 kids that have no idea what you're talking about. And they're not going to tell you because they don't want to be embarrassed. So walk and go, this is a flat. Okay? This is how far it is, this is where it ends. And they'll understand it, they'll get it, especially the young kids. And you don't have to do that when they're older.
That's huge. That's a great point. I was a wrestler by trade. All my kids play basketball. So I've gotten into coaching basketball. And yeah, you're yelling paint. Kids looking at you like, so I realized about a few years ago, well, this is the paint. Oh, this is the free throw line. This is the lane line. This is the baseline. This is lane line extended. This is all that stuff. Yeah, you can't simplify it enough. Okay, they talk about Marty starting the first day of practice. This is a football. That's real. Okay? Understand how our run fits with our pass. This is the stuff that we know that we can get beat bad on. Seams, give up 4 or 5 birds. Slants, that's the next place that we can get hurt. And then flats, it's the last place we can get hurt. We will cover this. We will not try, we will do this. We will cover this. okay? Slants, that's the next thing we gotta get. Flats, we'll rally to it, okay? If you're willing to throw 30 hitch routes and do that, and can complete them all that sort of stuff, kudos to you. General coverage, both corners deep third, safety middle third, one of the safeties are outside linebacker flat, inside linebackers hook to curls, and then I'm blasting through this stuff because you really want to get to some of this stuff. Intelligent alignment, we talked about this, this is our corners. Half turn run, talked about that. Deep third, where does the deep third start? It starts 12 yards off the line. Know where that is. Okay, out-breaking routes, deep routes, inside leverage, veer out line. Okay, so if I'm playing him, you want to come up, and he disappears on me, this is something we do all the time. He disappears on me. How am I going to turn? That's huge. Okay, center field turn, I'm going to turn this way. Because if I turn this way, I'm lost. I'm in trouble. Okay, so this is a really, really important thing. Half turn run, he's coming. I all of a sudden can't see him. I got to turn this way. If he's going deep, I'm going to veer him out. Okay, if he beats me deep, I'm going to not care about the ball. I'm going to run as far as I can. That's the oh shit drill. Okay, and at the bottom end, if he beats me and I see his hands go up, tackle the son of a gun. Because that's a 15-yard play versus a 50-yard touchdown. Okay, don't feel bad about giving up a PI. We'll reset. We said big plays are 20 yards. It's a 15-yard play. Okay, I did a good thing. Okay. Communicate in breaking routes, or if that guy's coming in, screaming in, communicate what needs to be communicated, because you can't crack block like you used to, but at least let that inside or outside linebacker know that that guy's coming. Okay, that definitely helps. When they're breaking deep, we're going to play low shoulder. What does that mean? Like I said, that's the other stuff you can look at with saving. Low shoulder. We're going to play low shoulder because I got a one high safety. Okay, and why I'm going to do that. And smash route is one of those things that you really want to work on quite a bit. How does that work? If coach is going to go ahead and he's going to run a hitch and he's going to hitch it up, and coach is going to run the corner, how do I play that as that corner? Sit at the bottom of the third, right? I can go vertical, I can go under. That's going to give that quarterback a cloudy picture. Worst thing you can do is just give him an automatic look, and he knows where to go with it. Safety, I'll blow through this if you guys want any of this stuff. It's there, because I'm getting, how much time do I got?
What time is it done? 2:35?
2:30, yeah.
You got 15 minutes.
15 minutes, okay, I really want to get to this. Okay, so we'll just look at this stuff a little bit again. Once again, what are we in? If you look, okay, since this guy is shaded on the inside, what are we in? We're in a trips. Okay, why are we in a trips? Because they got 1, 2, 3 eligible receivers. We could play this as a base. There wouldn't be anything wrong with it. If we went with a base, what would it look like? He'd be rotated back up here. He'd be an outside shade. Sometimes we consider the tight end to be, something that we're going to rotate for trips. Sometimes we don't. Depends on what the team does. Depends on what we got for athletes. Okay? Now, if we think about what we've got, what does this look like? He's going to push him out. He's going to read 1 to 2 vertical. If he sees 1 going vertical and 2 is going to go vertical, he's going to keep running with him. He's right in the seam. He's where he needs to be. Okay? If 2 is going vertical and he sees 1 hitch up, where does he go? Flat. Okay? Just keep it simple. If he bellies out to the flat, he's just going to go with him. All right? So it all becomes pretty simple. This guy is going to knock him down. He's going to knock him down because he's got 1 high. So he's going to push him to his 1 high defender. We got all 3 verts covered. Now, we got a sophomore my other son. We have sophomore safety. He's a little aggressive. Ooh, they're moving the third guy out there. Very good. Talk about 4x1. We talked about this. We said, hey, what do you got to do? You got to be 1 high. He decides to go jump for the ball instead of just get there. He likes to try and bait guys a little bit. Okay, and he gets beat, but we rally. Okay, not a good play. Gave up more than we should. All right, looking at this, they come back. If you look at it, okay, now they're going 3x1, playing trips once again here. If you look at what the safety's doing, He's pushing him out. Corner's sitting over the top. We got that covered, okay? And the guy throws a pretty bad, ill-advised pass. If you look at it, you're looking at doing any of this sort of stuff, this seam route is now difficult to complete because why? He's got to go through your guy. Yeah, he's got to put some air on it. And if he's got to put some air on it, that gives your corner a chance to react to it, gives him a chance to react to it, all that sort of thing. Sophomore did a better job. You know, he turns, runs, okay? And you look at the pickup taking place here between their number 3, we push number 3 down. You see him come back past the safety. Safety trades him off to the corner. Corner picks him up there. So, not bad. Okay, not bad. All right. So we talked about outside linebacker, what we teach and all this. I want to get to this because this, I think, this is one of the things how many guys are zone teams? Zone team, okay, a few of you. This was huge for us, and this actually went back to me learning stuff from basketball. Andy Benasik's our basketball coach, been there for years and years, and heck of a basketball coach. Okay, any basketball guys in here? Right. So if he breaks loose on a fast break, and I got coach, this is my guy, we're playing man-to-man defense. He breaks loose on a fast break, okay, he's got the ball and he takes off. What do? Stop ball. That's my guy. What's my guy? I mean, well, no, you got to stop ball. We've got certain things that we do for our coverages, and this all goes back to that Saban stuff. He talks about we kind of tweaked it and do whatever we do. We classify play action, okay, as either flow pass or boot pass. Flow pass means the ball is being faked to the same direction that the quarterback's setting up. Boot pass means I'm faking it this way, but I'm setting up that way, okay? If you're playing, I'm playing outside linebacker, and I got a tight end here, okay, and coach is the quarterback, and he's faking the ball, and he's coming at me, and I'm supposed to knock this guy down, and maybe I'm playing tuck, which means I'd have flat. You're going to tell a kid, okay, you get in there, you take this guy on, you see you run, now you get yourself out there, and you set up, and really? No, you can't do that, okay? Kind of going back to what I talked about, what do you think we tell our outside linebackers to do? Something. I don't know what you're going to do, but do something and make it definitive. Okay? If you get in there and this guy knocks down, maybe he heads out to the flat, and you see that run coming at you, okay, and you decide that you're going to go get some quarterback meat because he's set up, then go get some quarterback meat. Okay? Bring the barbecue sauce, have enough for everybody, but just go. Go get it. All right? Now, what does that mean? What are they trying to do in a flow pass? You got those offensive guys, they got plans and aspirations and goals in life too. What are they trying to do in a flow pass? They're trying to flood an area, right? Usually you're going to have 3 levels. Low, mid, high. Okay, maybe every once in a while we'll throw something on the backside. Slam, some PC or whatever it is on the backside. So what we say, it's kind of like a basketball thing. This guy busts out, he's gone. So let's say I'm playing inside linebacker, and that guy was there, he's coming, and I'm taking my read step, and I'm getting myself down here, and now I see that quarterback setting up. We say there's low flat, high flat rats in the hole, okay? So I see my inside, or my outside backer say, screw it, I'm going. I'm making a play on the quarterback. Is there anybody guarding the basket? Is there anybody guarding low flat? If there's not, boom, I'm gonna get myself to the low flat, okay? What's that mean? Somebody's gonna have to get high flat. What's the flat? 0 to 12 yards. Somebody better get in the low flat, somebody better get in the high flat, and then you got rats in the hole. As far as your over-the-top coverage, those guys shouldn't be in the mix anyway, okay? Your corners should be taking deep third and all that sort of stuff. They're doing their normal thing. Boot, okay? So boot, they fake the run this way, come back that way. What does every boot, short of the deep stuff, what the deep stuff, what does every boot have? It's got a dragger. It's probably got a guy in the flat. They're coming here faking, fullback goes on the flat, maybe, whatever it is. What's your job? Somebody better get to the flat, and then the front and the back of the box. What's the front and the back of the box? As that guy drags across, you better get somebody in front of him, you better get somebody behind him. Okay? That's all it is. And your over-the-top coverage should be taken care of with what it is. This is one of the best things that we got, and like I said, totally stole it from Saban, he talks about roboting guys, and everything. It's not that difficult to prepare a sheet, okay? But that's what we do. Okay, so if we look at this, it's defining with the kids. So quarterback kind of fakes the ball to the right. Okay, fakes the ball to the right, and he rolls to the right. So by definition, this is a flow pass. If we look at how we're set up in base. We're too high, he's going to keep two inside him, okay, as the outside backer, and away we go. So he keeps two inside him, he sees that guy come out to him, all right, and what does he say? Screw it, I'm going. Okay, I'm going. All right? So if you look at this kid, he's the outside backer, keeps two inside, and says, all right, I'm not messing around, I'm just going here. Now, where do we get to? If you look right there, that's the inside backer. Where's he going? Low flat. This is the safety. He's playing high flat. As I said, in terms of what you got, you know, it's a flood route. You're going to flood it with three. Get three over there, get some pressure on him. It's a lot harder to throw the ball up from your back. Okay? So put some pressure on him and force him to do something. Playing corner here, you're going to go ahead and stay with this guy. Okay, I think he's guarding. Oh, there it is. Okay. This is Mason again. He's just trying to bait that guy to throw it back there because he wants to pick it off. But he should be playing low shoulder because he should have a safety over the top. Okay? And this is a good look at what we teach our outside linebackers. You read pass, he's going to have his head snap to number one. He's going to run like a son of a gun to number one. I'd like to have him continue on there a little bit. Okay? Looking at another one here. Let's better look at it. Okay? This is flow pass once again. All right? I'm going back to the end zone view. I've got my outside linebacker. We're playing this guy. This is our Texas coverage. It's a little bit different, but it's the same idea no matter what. Okay? He's supposed to have tuck to flat. I mean, think about your sub. You got a fullback coming at you. You got a fake coming at you. Just go make a play. So he does. Okay? And it's kind of that idea of being, you know, being that Viking. Start swinging that goddamn, swing the axe. Okay? Make him have to make a decision, go after him. But I don't want to put him in a spot where he has to think about what he needs to do. Just come and make a play. So those are a couple flow pass examples.
2 minutes.
Thank you. Okay? This is a boot pass example. Okay? Faking the ball here, he's going to boot off. All right? So when we're talking boot, we got to have a flat defender. Okay? Look, there's the drag guy. There's the drag guy. There's Coach Rabbit's teaching in action. Somebody goes across my face, I'm going to hit him. I'm getting back of the box. All right? This guy's working to try and get in front of the box. We got front and back of the box. We got flat kind of all covered up by the same guys. And this becomes the rat in the hole idea. So this is a little easier to see from here. Rat in the hole. Okay? So run action this way, boots back that way. Tricky offensive coordinator, what's he going to get you to do? You know, overcommit and throw some little piddly pass back in the flat and screw you all up. Okay? So our outside linebacker does a pretty good job. He saw run action his way. He saw the quarterback boot the other way. His job is now rat in the hole. What's a rat in the hole? Anybody that's coming back out to me, that's an eligible receiver. So he hangs on right there, hits him, picks the pass, and he goes yard. Okay? So that's what they're setting up there. They're running a boot screen off that. He stays rat in the hole. He's in good shape, and he's gone. Okay? Last thing I want you to think about or consider, and this is something we talk about, you know, from a culture standpoint, kind of stole the idea from D coordinator down at Platteville, and we just made it what ours is. From a defensive standpoint, we really, really focus on this. 1, celebrating 10, 10, celebrating 1, sideline going crazy. We talk about it all the time. That was our breakdown at half, before the game, all those sorts of things. Whatever you want to use and whatever you want to make it is yours. What does that mean? Tackle is the most overrated statistic in defense. Okay? Tackle is the most overrated statistic in defense, in my opinion. Because your name gets stated by the PA announcer and all those sorts of things, but you would never have made the tackle if the D lineman didn't do his thing, if this guy didn't do his thing, if, whatever it is. So you make the tackle, great. There better be 10 guys celebrating the fact that you made the tackle. But you better do what? Celebrate that. The thing that we don't want to see, okay, if this is the line of scrimmage, you make the tackle and, you get across there and you're doing your thing. You make the tackle, you turn around, and you better thank these guys for putting you in that spot. And then they better be celebrating the fact that you did your job, and the sideline better be going crazy. And this is a good example of it. This is that Kramer kid that I was talking about. Just watch his reaction as he's doing his thing, bailing off. Boom! Hands up, my boys got it. Here we go. Okay? He's excited, right? All these guys are. They're flying down the field. Watch the sideline. What should we see here? Sideline, as soon as he gets it, boom, everybody's taking off, running, streaking down the field. Okay? Everybody's getting down there. Those things are really important to watch. Coach talked about this. I've gone to games on a Friday night when we play a Saturday game, and I'll see a team, I'm not worried about them. We still got to come out, we got to do what we've got to do, but I'm not worried about them based on what I see. I've also gone and watched teams, and you can see when it's tight, when it's right. So, ooh, these guys got it together. Okay? We showed up to Aquinas this year. I was watching them warm up and stuff. Ooh, they look legit. Turned out they were. Okay? That stuff, if you see that on your film, that's as important as any technique piece that you can show. 1 celebrating 10, 10 celebrating 1, sideline going crazy, if that's your thing or whatever it is. Appreciate your time. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. I would also do this, I'd put a plug in, if you're looking at any opportunity to build culture and stuff, and you got a chance to bring Coach to your team, it would be useful. I don't know if you can do that in the MVC. That might break a bylaw or something. I don't. But that is really good stuff to get. Thank you.